Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mike. I want to make a short video here today regarding the 13 Market Moves channel and whether or not it actually works. Um, so, I did some trading on Friday, 2 days ago. I'm recording this on Sunday and was able to take about $2,600 into $7,200. I used the principles that are taught in this channel to make those gains. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how I did it and how I use some of the indicators and things like that that are talked about on the videos in order to make those returns. So first of all, we look at the general market. As we all know, there's some things going on with the Wuhan virus and market topping out and getting a little bit more volatile. What you can see here is, we had a top a week and a half ago. RSI was really high, and then we dropped a little bit down about the 50-day moving average. And then we made a new high up here, mostly through gap ups. But you can see the RSI didn't come up along with that, so that to me, that's a divergence. I also see down here a second divergence where the volume is falling on these up days. And then finally, another divergence I notice is the accumulation distribution, which is pretty much flat throughout that entire process. So that gave me an indication that we were going to have a move 2, which is basically a gap down and then falling throughout the day, and that's what turned out to happen. So I just wanted to point out one other quick divergence, which would be in the VIX. So when we had our first all-time high here, we had a VIX way down at 12, and then now we have a second all-time high in the last couple weeks, and we're still up at a 15. So that means the market's not as calm or as it had been, or as confident as it had been, I should say, back when we made that first high. So one of the trades I took on Friday was BKNG. I really like trading BKNG on Fridays. Options come down so much in price that it makes it a great buy. So looking here, the RSI was really oversold, and it doesn't even get that low anywhere on the entire chart before that. Also seeing the accumulation distribution dropping off, and it sort of did what the SPY did, which is just gap up, gap up, gap up, and then kind of you see this little doji where it stalls out, and it did gap down and fall all day. So I was able to take advantage of that through a couple different strike prices. And I just wanted to note here, just the average trading range of the stock is $40 a day on average. So there's going to be some movement, which makes it great for Fridays. So with the move 2, you see here, this is a intraday, just 5-minute chart. We fall in first thing out of the gate, kind of move along this moving average for a little while, and then we fall down. I was expecting us to land right about this line of support here at 1907. So here are the trades that I made. I kind of got in around, it looks like 9 o'clock. or 8 o'clock rather, 8 to 9. I'm in Mountain Time, so adjust that to where you live. But what I thought was interesting is this is a chart of the 1920 put and the value of the put throughout the day. So you can see, even though it started out here and dropped all day, the put value in the middle of the day actually hit a low at 10 o'clock for me, like 2.5 hours into market. So you can see here, when I started buying in, I paid $350 at about this time, and then as it came down, I was stair-stepping in, and I was able to get them, just successively cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And then as they started to rise up, I was able to make some really nice significant gains. You can see here, some of the fill prices, $3. I like to stay typically between like $1 and $3, or 50 cents and $3, depending on the stock. And then here I started to take some profits. I was stair-stepping out. And then I just had a couple at the end of the day here where it got up to $15. Being that this is the 1920 chart, this is something interesting. If you look here, this $12 execution I have at 12.15. Do you see how much higher that is? That's me right there. Look how much higher I am than all these other ones. And I've noticed in a lot of the 13 Market Moves videos, if you watch him live trade, Leo always has a sell price put in right away. And I mean, put in something crazy. He says that all the time. Just do something crazy. So one little bit of 13 market move wisdom here is to stair step in, stair step out. Okay. Another trade I took on Friday was LRCX. This was a little bit of a smaller trade for me, but ended up being very profitable. So I got in at, it looks like 9 o'clock, so somewhere right in here, as it looked like it was just going to kind of fall. It did do a little bit of this up and down. So I could have got in, I got in at 80 cents, which is about here. Could have gotten in for quite a bit cheaper had I timed it better, but I wasn't paying super close attention to this one. And I just threw out 250 on right when I bought them. I put that in there as a sell. I didn't even look at it again until the thing beeped and it just told me they were filled. And again, here, look at this. Way up here. There's a 1208. Look at how much higher I got filled than all these other people. But I just put it in. Try something crazy. You hear him say that in those live videos. Let's just do something crazy. And look what happens. It's awesome. Finally, the last trade I took was in Amazon. And I wanted to put this one in here because it did not turn out the way that I thought it was going to turn out. But I was still able to make a profit on it. So this is just really quick, a weekly chart of Amazon. And you can see it's in this nice little consolidation here with this top. And we did not expect it to break the top. Jeff Bezos was selling billions of dollars of stock last week. So I had actually expected it to do what the other two stocks had done, which is just to gap down and fall all day. Well, this is what we actually got. So it rocketed. I really wish I would have been on the call side in the morning, to be honest. I did pick up one put right here because it looked to me like it might be reversing. And then I ended up getting a couple more over here as the indicators told me what to do. So this is something that I wanted to point out on an intraday chart. These charts were telling me that it was going to go up. You can see here as this is rising, this is rising, this is rising. They're all coming up, and that should have been a pretty good indication that that's what the stock was planning to do that day. But again, Amazon tends to sell off at on Fridays, at least a little bit. This is another stock with a $40 or so a day range. So up here, as this kind of petered out and it couldn't really get any higher, we kind of have a head and shoulders type thing going on here. I grabbed a couple puts up here and I sold the one that I bought initially for a loss because I knew it wasn't going to get all the way back down here. So I just bought those there. This yellow line is the VWAP. When it got around VWAP, I sold them. Again, not looking close enough at the indicators because I could have sold them for quite a bit more as it made this second drop at the end of the day. I think they went up. I sold them here $6-7. They went up, I think, to like 10 or something like that. So lost out on some profits there. So, these indicators, they work on different time scales. They're great. I like the fact that, we're not using tons of them, the moving averages, and these three indicators for the most part, and it really works. So that's 3 trades. I was able to take, like I said, 2,500, make it 7,200. So back to the question of the beginning, does it work? Yes, it absolutely works. It absolutely fucking works. So guys, I hope that helped you see a little bit of what you need to do. I want everyone to have a great 2020, trade like a rock star, and let's roll.